Hey guys, it's Sean here with the Family Outdoors. As you can see, we come out today and the conditions are not good. Snow everywhere. I decided to take the opportunity to show you two different ways to get a fire going in adverse conditions regardless of where you live. Everywhere you go, you are going to have these two items. Stick around. I hope you enjoy this video. So you can see we're real snowed in here. The fire pit's full of snow. There's snow everywhere. Snow, 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 snow. There's the off-grid cabin over there full of snow. Everywhere's full of snow. Now, what we're going to do is go over two different ways to get a fire going naturally in adverse conditions. So we're going to start step one right now. So this first attempt to make fire, the process we are going to use is quite a simple one. It requires just time. So what I'm going to do right off the start is I've already cut a log and I'm just going to split it down into small little workable pieces and make feather sticks out of it. Light the feather sticks on fire with the ferro rod. This is a little unorthodox doing this inside the shelter. You want to get down to the heart of the wood so that it's the driest possible. This is real knotty wood, so it's going to be challenging to find good little pieces to feather stick with. So now we've got some pieces busted up here. What I'm going to do see if I can't split this guy in half and use him as a working board. At a certain point in time, I will transfer this working board into the fire and use it basically as my raft to keep everything elevated out of the snow. So there's the raft. Got everything on there. It'll be nice to work with that. With our raft set up here now to work off of, I've chose this stick which comes out of the heart of the tree. You can see there's this big warble here, so that's going to prevent me from making a long feather stick. However, that's all right. I'll just split it and I'll work from each end down, and hopefully it'll be good enough to get the job done. The grains are nice and straight otherwise. So let's stop talking and start doing feather sticks. Now it's important when you're doing feather sticks, when you make one cut, you always go and cut beside that one. You never cut on the same spot twice, so essentially you're always knocking the hump off from the one that's the cut that you did previously. There are two different ways I find that you can do this. One way is you start by making all your fine stuff first, and then you build up the coarser sticks, or you start with the coarser ones and then at the end you make your finer ones, because that's where you want your fire rod to take from, is the real fine ones. So you can see where we're at so far. We got some pretty fine ones in there. We'll just keep going till we have a decent feather stick. You can see imperfections like that definitely do not help, because it tries to knock all your feathers off. So you can see there's some, if I could hold it straight, you'll see there's some very fine curls right there. If I can get you in focus here somehow. Hello. Very fine curls there. Now that's what I'm going to use to get my fire going. So I'll set this one off to the side. You can see when you turn your knife blade at an angle, either this way or this way, how it puts a curl onto the feathers, which is also very handy and very nice. So I'm going to pan you over here. This isn't going to work. This is no good. Way too much moisture going on in here. So what we're going to do is just try to clean this out a little bit, just so it's not right full of snow. All right. Now you can kind of tell it's a fire pit again. So as promised, here's our raft. Now what I'm going to do is back the camera up so we can hopefully see the fire pit and what I'm doing over here to the side at the same time. So that will be the plan, my friends. Alright, so I called this a fire you can light anywhere regardless of where you're located. Strictly because if you're doing bushcraft somewhere, there's a very high probability you're going to have trees. So if you got trees, you can always do feather sticks. If you got feather sticks, you can always light a fire. I know my head's cut off in the video, but I'm more concerned about you guys seeing what's going to go on here and over here. So, to light this, I've got a little board. I'm going to set it down like so. I'm going to take my feather stick, set it on top of here. I'm going to have my other previous feather stick all ready to go. Once I have that portion lit, like always, I'll go with my kindling right up to my fuel and then throw all the big fuel on. So the reason I always leave a long shank onto the feather stick is so that I can literally stand on it and brace it with my foot like that. Then you set your ferro rod on top of it, you hold it down hard, and just start putting the sparks to it. So now that it's tucked like that, you want to turn it upside down. Move it over to your fireboard, get your other feather stick on top of it, like so. Get all your other kindling right up to small fuel, set it on top, watch you don't smother it. Now start adding your bigger fuel on top. Just like every other fire, right? Doesn't matter the conditions, fire's all the same. It's just knowing where to find dry stuff. That's the only thing that changes. I know when it comes to fire, those of us in the boreal forest, we have quite literally beat birch bark to death. This is part of the reason why I chose to go and show you this different fire lighting technique. There's a lot more ways to light a fire than just with birch bark. Well, we can see that's burning really well. It's definitely a fire. There's no fear of it going out or anything like that. Very happy with it. Now, let's go on to another different technique to show you. So with technique number 2, in a previous Bushcraft for Beginners video, I had showed you guys how you make charwood. If you missed that video, go back and watch it. This is my container of charwood. I'm going to use that. And something else that I had come across here in the woods today when I come out to do this video. And that is part of an old bird's nest. Although the conditions are quite adverse, this will still be dry. And I'm going to use that and the charwood to get a fire going. So just like I showed you in the previous video, all you got to do is hit this with sparks. I'm going to move it up here, pan down so you can see it. So there we are. You can see how it grows like that. Let's get you back up there. Hold the lid of your container so you don't burn your hands. Just another way to do it, right? Ow. So there you go, 2 different ways to light fire in adverse conditions. This is going to be a tag video here. So I'm going to get my stuff cleaned up and I'm going to tell you who I'm going to tag. So the tags for this video, I'm going to pick 3 people. Prepared camping. I want to see how you light fire in adverse conditions. As well as Dare to Live and Natur J. Them are my 3 choices. I tag you guys. I want to see how you get fire going in adverse conditions. Thanks everybody for watching. See you next time.